there, it's Monday morning and I just released the video on making this thing here, which something that was on my list of possible projects. Well, ever since I bought this router, the little cordless trim router. Actually, it was on the list before. Kind of not seriously, it was a possibility for corded trim router that I had. But it makes more sense for this one because being free of a cord makes this really handy. Okay, I'm saying really handy, but I don't know yet, right? I don't know how much I'm going to use this, but I thought I would make it quickly and, inexpensively. And inexpensively as for material and also for time, just to have it on hand in case, okay, I've already got a router table. See, that's the thing, right? If you don't have a router table and you have a trim router and you don't have a big router, then this makes a lot of sense, especially if you have a small shop. But if you already got a router table ready and set up, out in the floor, then you really don't need something like this. Okay? Now, where something like this might come in handy in that instance, though, is a round over bit, something dedicated. But then you have to kind of devote a router to it, and then it makes more sense for it to be corded and not cordless. But anyway, my router table is underneath the, it's in one of the garages that I call it in my miter saw station. And I have to pull it out, unwrap the cord, and plug the cord in, and then get it set up and ready to use. So that's a little bit of an inconvenience, not huge, but it does keep me from doing some things, like some very simple, very quick things with the router table and doing them by hand with the trim router instead. However, I don't know that like setting this thing up is any quicker than pulling that out and setting that up because, well, unless I make it so that it quickly clamps down in some way to the workbench, because that's one of the problems with this. It really needs to be clamped down for you to use it for something or on a non-slip surface. So I could take that foam thing that I have and set that on my workbench and then put this on top, and that will make it really usable for, especially for small stuff, but you wouldn't want to use it for big stuff. Okay, so yeah, and it has a neat little fence here, design that I came up with for my drill press table with the clamps on the edge like that, except the difference here is that the wing nuts are on the bottom. I'm using, what are these called? Wing nuts. The wing nuts are on the bottom. I was thinking star knobs are on the bottom, but these are wing nuts. And so they're not sticking up in the way, kind of, because, okay, one thing is that, the face sticks up above the main rail, and then it kind of impedes how you can get your fingers in there. But if it's underneath, then you can really, you can, get at it easier. Okay? Here, I'll show you. I'll show you. See? Right? As your hand is clear, right? It's not hitting the edge of this. That's what I was thinking there. I can change the camera view now because it's kind of clean back there. I still have a pile of junk on top of the CNC, but being winter, I can't really burn stuff, which I can if I want to trudge through the snow out back to my fire pit, but I'm not going to do that. Just leave it, hanging around until the spring, and then I'll get rid of it then. I thought about building, when I was cleaning up, and I've thought about this before too. Problem is I don't have a lot of space in here to give up. But I was thinking that a good place for a small wood stove, one that I would build myself from 1/4-inch steel, is the corner over here, right in the corner, not down on the floor though, up on the wall. Say mid-wall, the space underneath to store some scraps and stuff. and then this pipe come out of the top and go through the wall and up on the outside and all that stuff. And I was thinking, yeah, I could have that, and it would help heat the shop when I need it heated more than it actually is, because like I've said many times before, I heat the shop to just 5 degrees Celsius here in the winter to save money. And you know, I'm not out here a lot in general, so it really doesn't make sense to heat it up to, like, it'd be wasteful to heat it up to room temperature. It'd be nice, I'd love it, but it would be a big waste of money to do that. So yeah, I could have a stove, and then I got to thinking about it some more. Well, then I have to knock a hole through the wall, and I have pipes and waterproofing and all this stuff. And then, you know, you use it for a month, and then you say, okay, well, I'm going to keep using that. No, you don't. So it's sitting there just collecting dust and not being used. Last thing I want to talk about is whether you're learning anything from YouTube. I want to hear your opinions. You can put them in the comments below. Whether, you know, YouTube has made you a better woodworker, specifically. Watching YouTube and the videos that people put out on YouTube whether they've made you a better woodworker or if they have distracted you from woodworking. I mean, to really become a better woodworker is to do woodworking. I mean, you can learn things from other people, and you can learn things from videos, and you can learn things from books, obviously, and you can learn things from the internet, as in like websites that talk about this stuff. But nothing replaces experience. To really become really good at anything where skill is involved, you have to do it. So I want to, you know, just ask whether, you know, have you done more woodworking since YouTube has come around, or done less? All right? Does it inspire you to get up and build something, or does it inspire you to watch more woodworking videos because they're more available to watch? Right? So that's what I wanted to ask, because I don't know, I can't answer from my perspective because I make woodworking videos. So, you know, I've become a better woodworker since YouTube has come around, since I made YouTube my career, because I have to do more woodworking, right? Not to say that I would be doing less otherwise. It's just I have to be more focused on what I do. And so in a way, it's made me a better woodworker, and in a way, it's made me not so much a better woodworker, because I have to rush through projects to get them done so that I can make videos from them, right? Because when you're at home doing your woodworking in your shop, you're building the project for yourself, sometimes for, you know, your wife, your friend, your kids, whatever. You know, maybe you're building it to sell. If you're building it to sell, it kind of doesn't qualify, but you know, in some cases it does. I mean, if you're just doing, you know, one-offs or what they call commissions, then that could kind of qualify. But you know, woodworking as a hobby, that's what I'm talking about. Has it made you a better woodworker?
This is the problem with politics, is that it attracts only the worst in society. The parasites, the narcissists, the authoritarians, anyone who has integrity, who has depth, who has profundity, says by definition, because I have these values, I don't